Thank you. Next
Sobi
is
and my
Gary.
friend Gargi are presenting a paper titled A Study on Retail Investors' Grievances in Indian Capital Market on behalf of Mrs. N.V. Kavita, Head of Department of Commerce, and Mrs. N. Suma Reddy, Lecturer, Department of Commerce from St. Anne's College for Women. As we all know, in today's stock market scenario, investors' grievances redressal mechanism and safeguarding investors dispense with one another. Since yesterday, we have been talking about how frauds like Harshad Mehta, Ketan Parekh, Satyam, Sahara, NSEL, PSEL, and other malpractices like insider trading and bucket trading has traumatized the self-reliance of retail investors. So, we conducted a study to explore the diverse grievances and redressal mechanisms in Indian capital market. A pilot survey was carried out with objectives to understand redressal mechanisms at Sebi and the other various grievances encountered by retail investors. Structured questionnaires were executed to 75 investors and data was analyzed. The methodology used was a pilot survey method and also secondary sources such as SEBI annual reports, websites, journals, books, etc.
Findings.
All right. The scope of the study was to evaluate the types of grievances of investors and also to investigate the kind of measures taken by SEBI. So, the nature of grievances has been widely studied in the paper. We present to you the most prominent ones. Delay in transfer of shares, delay in issue of duplicate shares, delay of annual reports, delay of redemption amount of debentures, delay of shares or in the account of broker, manipulation in the account statements, unauthorized trades, etc. The survey analysis will be presented by Gargi.
In order to understand the investors' grievances, a structured questionnaire was executed and the findings were: the table 1 shows the number of investors under different income groups. Table 2.
Main findings.
Yeah, we're coming to that, sir. Table 2 compares income versus various forms of investments. Table 3 shows income versus increase in exemption limit for investors. Table 4 shows the awareness of SEBI amongst investors. Table 5 shows the satisfaction of investors versus their incomes. Table 6 shows the income versus problems of investors, and it is found that the total respondents expressed that filling the application form is too cumbersome and that delay in receipt of refunds and allotment and other amounts were not credited in their demat account on time. Table 7 shows the grey areas identified by the investors, and Table 8 shows the investors' complaints on SEBI. To conclude, despite the market reforms and regulatory measures initiated by the individuals at the helm of dealings, many investors continue to understand a number of snags from a multitude of elements involved in the capital market. To sustain a healthy and strong stock market, investors' confidence to be enhanced by facilitating assurance with respect to securitization of funds. And hence, the need of the hour is to implement effective investor grievance mechanism to achieve 100% grievance redressal rate, aiming for consistent redressal system through investor awareness and education, making Indian securities capital market deeper and broader, enhancing the money flow to securities market. Only then will the Indian capital market be on the par with other developed markets of the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Myself, I am Dr. Moses, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Rayalaseema University, Kurnool. My topic of the presentation, SEBI insider trading regulations, a theoretical perspective. Undoubtedly, the corporate information or news decides the share price movements in the stock exchange. This era is an information ruling era. The law has given equal privileges to the insiders and outsiders accessing the information. So, the unpublished sensitive price information, if the key employer pursues and trades on that public unpublished information, definitely it leads to some problems in the stock exchange. So, my study is based on two objectives. That is, one thing is to examine the key aspects presented in the SEBI Insider Trading Regulation 1992 and the key aspects presented in the SEBI Insider Regulation 2015, and to depict the different important explanations among the key concepts presented in the 1992 and 2015.
Findings.
So I have taken some of the important definitions: insider definition and connected person, dealing versus trading, and
Findings.
UPS. Findings are the with objective of bringing the framework governing the regime of insider trading aspects, practices in line with the dynamic global scenario, and to tighten the gaps of the existing norms. So these are the findings I have found in that area. So thank you, sir, for giving this
Thank you.
opportunity.
The last paper is Moti and Ayushi. They are waiting for a long time. But time is only 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mohammad Moti from ICBM School of Business Excellence. My topic is a study on IPO scam in India. So it is involved with the merchant banker. So what is merchant banker? Merchant banker is a body, corporate, or individual who assist in public issue. There are various services rendered by merchant banker. Then coming to the role of merchant banker in IPO, they assist in various series of activities, that is educating the company and due diligence certificate, then display of offer document in website. Then IPO scam in India. We know that there are various scams happened in a stock market. It is in lakhs and crores in numbers. So I have taken a few IPO scam in India that happened in 2009, 10, 2007, 8. So in which the Sebi has also given a huge penalty to them. The company were Carvi, Suzlon IPO also, then HDFC Bank.
Findings.
Then PNB investment services. So there are various IPO scams happen in India. It is just because of fictitious accounts, that is the Benami account has been opened in the name of fake persons, and it has been happened because of the cooperation of the commercial bank and with the help of merchant banker also. And the next slide will be given by Ayushi ji.
Good afternoon, all. There are some silent features of IPO scams. Current account opened in the name of multiple companies on the same date in the same branch of a bank. Sole person authorized to operate all these accounts, who was also a director in all the companies. Multiple accounts opened in different spelling for the same name in different companies. Loans and overdrafts got sanctioned in multiple names by bypass limit imposed by RBI. There are some suggestions or measures. KYC forms, it should be updated and it should be face to face. Next, constant need to be improve and innovate new strategies.
Conclusion.
Ongoing monitoring of medium and high risk accounts. Prompt regarding reporting of cash and suspicious transactions to principal officers by branches, and there should be proper IPO hold by the companies. Thank you.
Thank you. I feel very sorry to limit the timings of the students, but thank you, thank you. Now I request our keynote speaker, Mr. C. Sudhir Babu, to address our students and teachers.
At the outset, let me thank the Department of Commerce of Osmania University for providing me this opportunity to go through a lot of presentations given by the various faculty members and students on the topic of interest, particularly in the current state of the capital market. In fact, I have been asked to deliver a key speech on the topic of the investor grievance redressal mechanism. as the key speech indicates, the key is supposed to solve the problems in the capital market. But I wonder whether I'll be able to provide any solutions for the current problems of the capital market. But nevertheless, I'll try to throw some light on some of the issues, and particularly with reference to the redressal of the grievances of the investors. Before we continue with the presentation, I have a small presentation. I promise you that I will not take much of your time, because we're already behind the schedule, and most of the points which I'm going to talk were already covered some of the presentations. I would like to know how many of you are really the investors. Can you raise your hands? Particularly of course, the faculty members, invariably they'll be investors. But what about the students?
No.
None of them.
No.
The topic of investor